What's up, guys? Bringing another action figure review to you, and this is a figure that I have been wanting forever. I've been wanting a Mephisto in my collection forever. So I had him for about a week. You know, I've been messing around, playing and posing around with him. But I'm getting to record him now. So yeah, this is the Marvel's Mephisto, Marvel Legends Mephisto. Finally. So yeah, I'm just really excited. I'm so happy to finally have this figure in my collection. Let's get into the review. So this box is big. This box is massive. You see Mephisto on his throne, all the skulls, got the little design down there. Ages 4 plus up the top right corner. You got Mephisto posed up right there. See that Hasbro warnings, blah blah blah. See him again on the other side, his throne, same thing. This box is really massive. You got Mephisto, and that's how he's posed up in the back with his throne. My Legends Series. And so you got the read up. I'm gonna try to read it from right here. Ruling the Stygian deep atop his throne, Mephisto. I apologize, guys. Those are airplanes flying off my building. But anyway, ruling the Stygian deep atop his throne, Mephisto, Lord of Evil, schemes to capture the immortal souls of men, especially those of the Marvel's universe's mightiest heroes and its most vile villains. Yeah, so that's the read up on Mephisto. And you also got, sorry about it being upside down, Marvel's let me try to turn that around. See if I can do that. Yeah, so you got Marvel's Mephisto at the top there. It's really cool. Got all the legalities at the bottom and the barcode. This is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. This figure costs $80, and yep, I got him from Hasbro Pulse, and yes, I did pay the 80 bones. I'd rather pay that than pay a scalper's price. So yeah, so we're gonna get into the review, guys. So let's do it. And so here we have Marvel's Mephisto. I have him all posed up, sitting on his throne. So we're gonna get into accessories and everything in just a bit. But let's just go over this throne. Well, actually, if I pick it up, I'm just gonna tip him over. So yeah, second thought, yeah, we'll get into the highlight of his accessories. So this is Mephisto's alternate head. I will plug that on his body a little bit later, but that is the alternate head that he comes with. I don't think I'm going to use that head really. I like the head that he already has on his head, on his shoulders. This is the plastic cape that he comes with, and this is done really nicely as well. See all the nice little details in there. You see the wash in there. I really appreciate that. And also he comes with his whatever you want to call this, sash or skirt piece, whatever. But this is also plastic as well. So you have two options. You have the plastic option, and you have the cloth option, which of course the cloth option is for him sitting on his throne. So that's what that's for. Did I get into the hands? So he also comes with two alternate hands. And you see like some orange wash over the red. You see his painted fingernails. Very nice. Those are two gripping hands. And we have his sword, which plugs into his throne. You plug it into one of the skulls there, And this sword is ridiculously long. I feel they kind of missed an opportunity here. The sword looks too clean. I feel like they could have added like some dents, some scuffs, marks, some battle worn damage on his sword. I think that would have really been great. I think that's a missed opportunity. But the sword looks nice nonetheless. So I'm going to get Mephisto out of his throne. We're going to get further into this review. So we're going to take a further look at this throne. And this throne is just absolutely fantastic. You have all the skulls there. That looks like a Daredevil skull. You know what I'm saying? You see the pointed horns on the skull. That looks like Daredevil. Guess they're saying that Mephisto killed Daredevil and took his soul. So you also got some skulls there. You got another skull right there. You got all this grimy, nasty looking, stuff on the chair. That looks like a octopus limb. That part looks like a snake. Just, you got all kind of stuff going on with this throne. It's crazy. So much detail. Like, that's where all the money went. All the money went into this freaking throne. Seriously. Like, seriously. That's where all the budget went. So, I mean, just look at all that. Just look at all that detail work. Now, there's some flatness around it, but there's just so much detail. Look at that. Ugh, it's gross, but it's awesome. Look at that. And then you turn it towards the back. You got all that. So look at that. Centipede going through a scorpion. Whatever that is. Going through the skull. It's just crazy, bro. And it's hollow at the bottom, but that's not a big deal. But look at that. Look at the skull. Oh my goodness. Look at that skull. So like, if you want to have Mephisto posed standing up with the skull, but look how gnarly that skull is. Look at the horns. Look at all the detail. Look at all of that. It looks fantastic. It's great. Bunch of wash, fantastic paint, sculpting. That is just incredible. Like I said, that's where all the budget went. You got more wash there. You got a skull. You got the chains. That's where the budget went. It went to this doggone throne, and rightfully so. Look at that. All that is just fantastic. It is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. And if you want to pose Mephisto, I'll have to adjust my camera because he is tall. But like, if you want to pose him next to the throne, you could do so. That throne is just amazing. So, I mean, we're going to get into Mephisto himself. So, I had him holding the skull. You could take this skull and you can port it into his throne. Whoops, I knocked him over, of course. But yeah, you could take this skull and you could port it into the throne. That's nice to have that option. And we have Mephisto here, who is just an absolute giant. And I love this head sculpt. This head sculpt works. This is working for me. So the head sculpt is fantastic. That sinister, evil grin he has on his face. You have the cape there with the little diamond. The other plastic cape does not have the diamond in it. Why it doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. And this is his body. You see more orange wash mixed in, or more orange paint mixed in with the red. You know, you see his hands, his fingers. You see this little sash thing here that he's wearing. You move that, you see that. You see the back, see him in the back. You know, I mean, this is how Mephisto looks in the comic book. So you got that little wrist bandage wrap thing. Well, I don't think it's a bandage, but this little wrist wrap that he's wearing. You see his red boots. That looks good as well. Peg holes at the bottom. And this is his cape. This cloth, you see the little rips and tatters there. This has a little bit of rip to it as well. That's the design of the cape and that sash. And that head sculpt is wonderful. The sculpting of his hair is fantastic. It's definitely some wash in there mixed in with some dark red, and that just looks really good. I love that head sculpt. I love it more than the other head sculpt. So what's going to happen is you have to, a lot of people are complaining about this with the articulation. So you only get the articulation up here, because here there's no articulation here. You disconnect this and it's just a joint that you plug in and switch out this sash here for the plastic, which I'm about to do that right now off camera. So stay tuned. All right, so here's Mephisto with the alternate cape and with the alternate plastic. I bumped my camera, doggone. Yeah, so here he is with the alternate plastic cape and the alternate gripping hands, his sword, the plastic sash. So obviously he can't sit on his throne like this because this is the plastic. So it's a little, I don't want to say it's flimsy. It's actually in there really good. But yeah, they could have put the diamond on the plastic one. Why not? You know, they put it on the cloth one. Why not put it here? It's just, I don't get that at all. And like I said, I feel like they missed out on the sword. Could have added more detail and everything. But he does hold the sword nicely. And he grips it. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just not a fan of this head. But I will get into articulation. So I don't know if I should I probably should take off the cape for articulation. So his head, he cannot look up. He can look down. He does have attitude. He does hinge all the way around. Arms go out, go up, about that much. He does have the butterfly joints. He does have full rotation, doubly jointed elbows, upper bicep swivel, wrist and hinge rotation. And like I mentioned previously, he does have this upper ball peg, but that is the only waist articulation you're going to get. Pivots left and right, circles all the way around, and they can go all the way around 360 as well. Let me just get this arm back. Articulation. I'm gonna have to work this off camera because I can't even. Anyway, so his legs split out about that much. He kicks forward about that much, back about that much. He does have thigh rotation. He does have doubly jointed knees, and this is all pinless. So I always forget to mention that, but I mean, you know, Marvel Legends, all their figures have been pinless for a while now. He does have boot rotation, and his foot can hinge up, it can hinge down. He does have ankle pivot, and that is the articulation that you are going to get out of Mephisto. I gotta fix my arm. And so now we're going to get into some size comparisons. So first I'm going to pair him up next to Daredevil, and he just dwarfs Daredevil. And yeah, Daredevil has had his run-ins with Mephisto. So, but that's pretty awesome. And up next, we're going to have Mephisto next to Spider-Man, which he has had a huge impact on Spider-Man's life still to this day because of what happened between them. Yeah, so Spider-Man is still impacted by what Mephisto did to him years ago to this day. So that's yeah, but that's a good size comparison as well. He dwarfs over Spidey. And the master of the mystic arts himself, Dr. Stephen Strange, of course, he has had his run-ins with Mephisto as well. And yeah, Mephisto he's a giant, man. He's just towering over everybody. And last but certainly not least, we have Mephisto next to Ghost Rider. I did not pull my Johnny Blaze out of storage, so I apologize for that, but this is Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, and I have him sitting on his bike, so if he looks a little awkward, I apologize, but I just didn't want to remove him off his bike because I have him in a certain pose and it kind of took me forever to do it anyway. But yeah, this is Danny Ketch next to Mephisto, and that looks good as well. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on this figure? Oh, I almost forgot about something. Doggone, I just forgot. Hang on, guys. So this is the old throne of Mephisto. Now, I never bought the old Mephisto, but I did buy his throne. And this is that old throne from the old, it wasn't Toy Biz, but it was an old throne from that Mephisto. I can't think of the name. Was it Marvel Select? I can't think of the one. But anyway, I do have this throne. He probably could fit on here. I don't know. Let me see if I could sit him on here. And so yeah, he could sit on this throne a little awkwardly, but you know, he could sit here. Yeah, this throne could work. I mean, if you just bought this Mephisto, and like, I don't know, if you bought it on the aftermarket and somebody sold him without his throne, and you had this throne sitting in your collection, this is a good substitute. You could use this throne as well. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I mean, maybe, but I like the throne that he came with so much, so I'm probably not gonna do that. I'm probably just gonna use this throne probably for Thanos or something. But you know, that is also an option as well. Yes, I apologize, guys, for this video being so long, but I just had to get my thoughts out there about how awesome this figure is. The throne is exceptional. There are some little I don't want to say miscues. Actually, my paint, like, I haven't found like any QC issues on mine. Well, not yet anyway. I haven't really thoroughly looked, but while I was reviewing this figure, like, I was looking at everything. So far, I haven't noticed any QC issues on mine. I'm not saying that I don't have any. I probably could, but I haven't noticed anything. But anyway, sorry for this video being so long. I apologize for that, guys. But yeah, so I love the sculpt. The accessories he come with is good. He comes with alternate head. He comes with a sword. His throne, of course, is the biggest attraction. But I just love the way they sculpted Mephisto. I would have been perfectly happy with this being like a $30 figure and just being Mephisto by himself. Without the throne, I would have been happy with that. But the fact that, Marvel Legends included the throne and they added so much work and detail into it, it's just really awesome. It's really exceptional. I love the throne. I love that they gave you options, both plastic and cloth. The cloth is so he could sit on his throne, because if they just would have gave him plastic, he wouldn't have been able to sit on it. The paint is really good. The sculpt is really good. I love it. There is some missing paint in certain areas of the throne, which is unfortunate, but you kind of can overlook it because there's so much detail on the throne, which is really good. Mephisto himself, I love the way he looks. His alternate head, I'm not really going to use that head for posing. I just love this head too much. And I think I love the cloth cape and that sash that he's wearing. I think I like that more than the plastic, especially so he could sit on his throne, obviously. But yeah, this is really an excellent figure. I don't really have too much complaint with it. They could have not cut corners, because that's what they kind of did to kind of cut around the budget in certain areas. They definitely could have added more detail on the sword, like I said, nicks, dents, and scrapes. Have a battle worn sword, like they've done with their other figures. Like there's numerous Marvel Legends figures that have weapons, and you see the dents and the nicks and it just adds more realism to the figure, and it's just always nice to see. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough. So my final rating of this figure, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's really good. I think that if you have any doubts about getting this figure, I would say don't have doubts, because you don't want to, once the stock runs out on this figure, what's going to happen with the scalpers and the aftermarket. They're going to sell this thing for like $200 and up. Right now they're selling it for like $100 and up right now in the aftermarket, but last time I checked, he's still available on Hasbro Pulse, and let me just say, you rather pay $80 than to pay $100 or more. That's just the way I look at it, especially if you want to add Mephisto in your collection. If this is a figure that you want it, I don't think Hasbro is going to make another Mephisto figure. I don't think so. Not anytime soon. It'll probably be years before we get another one. And I mean a lot of years, because look how long it took us to get this one. So if you have any doubts about this figure, I say just go for it. If you're thinking about getting it at all, I say go for it. It's a really exceptional figure. Does it has its problems? Absolutely. It's not perfect, but it's really good for, I wish it wasn't $80, to be honest. I wish it was probably more like along the lines of $50. I think maybe that would have been the sweet spot if it was $50, but they made it $80 because I guess all the work and detail they had to put into that throne. But like I said, I'd rather pay $80 than to pay $150 and up, $100 and up, whatever. And once he's completely out of stock, I'm telling you, it's going to be, I already could see it. It's going to be hard as hell to get him. So that's my review, guys. At the 24-minute mark. Sorry for the video being so long, but if you did enjoy this, please give me a like and subscribe. And until the next time, see ya.